In all this time since I've been in office, this must be the first time I've taken a meeting without having the Secret Service hiding in the woodwork. Which, when you think about it, is a little bit strange since you're generally considered to be one of the most dangerous people on the planet. Well, allow me to get straight to the point then. Ever since the time of my predecessor, Ronald Reagan, every single U.S. president has signed a formal treaty of friendship with the man known as the Ogre or Yujiro Hanma. I was only informed of this secret just last week, and I must say, when I first heard about it, I hereby swear that the United States of America will do its utmost to maintain an amicable relationship with Master Yujiro Hanma, that we will respect your interest and leave you free to pursue them as you see fit, that we will never interfere with you or your actions regardless of anything that might happen, that I will faithfully execute and abide by this treaty of friendship, I do solemnly swear as President of the United States, Barack Ozma.
And you must have a reason to show your face after all this time. So, tell me, what have you come here for?
I'd heard about a new potter, a Kakunoshi Niitsu who was making a name for himself. What made you choose pottery?
Actually, it wasn't like it had to be pottery. But I wanted to live far from society without arousing suspicion, and potters, like other artists, can get away with that.
Was it that easy?
Well, yeah. A true genius can master anything if he sets his mind to it.
I see you're as conceited as ever.
You dodged my question.
No need to thank me. It was a fight I chose to fight. Hey there, swordsman. How's your head feeling?
Oh, it didn't really hurt much, that it didn't.
On the other hand, if you had dodged it when you sensed it coming, it wouldn't have hurt at all. But then if you'd followed your instincts and ducked, that girl's face would probably be a bloody mess right now. So you chose not to duck and used your own head as a shield.
You're overestimating me.
Or are you being too humble? Only one way to find out. So, will you accept my challenge?
I will decline that, I will.
All right. But if you're ever up for it, it's an open invitation. I'll be at the Gorotsuki Nagaya on the outskirts of town. See you around.
What took you so long?
I was feeling a little hungry, so I stopped for a snack. Here, I got one for you too.
Oh, well, thanks.
You're that Kyosawa Shiro of the Glowing Dawn!
I guess you're famous now. Oh, shucks. Now then, I would like you to tell me exactly what you did to my family.
Gift. These latent supernatural abilities are part of your soul. You may have telekinesis, pyrokinesis, clairvoyance, or one of the many other supernatural abilities. You should all be proud of this. Consider them materialized powers of the soul. Grotesque creatures have lived in this country since ancient times. Also called demons and ghosts. They've been known to harm humans. Our supernatural abilities are the one and only power that can effectively respond to these ethereal threats.
You girls go do your thing. I'll wait.
That's okay. I don't know how late we'll be, so you should go on ahead. I'll be fine. As long as you promise not to cheat on me.
No, Saki! You don't really think I'd ever do such a thing, do you?
Naria?
I made you worry! I'm sorry! This means I have to love you even harder! You'll never doubt my love again!
Sounds good. So, hey, you wanna let go?
I do not! I love you!
Come on, you're making a scene, dude!
Saki!
Let me go!
Feel my love!
I feel it!
You feel it?
Yes! Now get off! Save this for when we're alone, you freak!
Okay.
You got the future of black voice acting in this panel right now. The
Yes.
future. Introducing Jalen, Kevin, Daniel, Bill, Darius, and Seti. Let's go. Black voice actors in the house.
Yeah.
What's good, yo? How you doing?
Y'all funny. But yeah, but everyone having a great day. I know it's Friday, and I'm glad it's Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God.
And so
Feeling
yes,
good.
Friday's a great day. It's still a little dark. It's cloudy outside where I am, so but it don't matter.
It's hot here in Cali.
It's funny.
California's on the other side of the country where I am. I'm based in Georgia.
Right now.
So you got that good food. I see you, Georgia.
Yep. You definitely need to come visit Savannah sometimes. They got some good places down there.
Okay.
So it might be a small town, but it's still amazing.
Famous town.
So
Saying thanks for having us, my man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it so much. Appreciate it, man.
no
Yeah,
problem.
thanks.
No problem. Well, I guess we can go ahead and get this thing started. So nice that everybody's here. It's nice to meet you all. My name is Phil. Y'all can call me Philip if you want, but I'm Phil, host of the Conversation podcast. So this is a very special episode, and especially since we're at the end of Black History Month. So I got a lot of special guests in here with me today. So go ahead and introduce yourselves. Let's get it started. Introduce you guys. Whoever wants to go first.
Go ahead, say it, because you started it off, bro.
So we you just want our name and what stuff we've done?
Yeah, just say your name.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Cedric Williams. You may know me as Chitu and Hunter x Hunter, Don in the Promised Neverland, Syndrome and Demon Slayer, Kabru and Delicious in Dungeon, Yoshido Goto in My Happy Marriage, and most recently, Poco Loco and Steel Ball Run, JoJo's.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
All right. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, I know. What up, everybody? I'm Darius Marquise Johnson. I love long walks on the beach, a nice Shirley Temple. What else? But most importantly, I love acting. Yes. VO roles. I have been doing promo for Nickelodeon for the past 3 years and running on such shows as Young Dylan, Really Loud House, Rubble and Crew, Tiny Chef, Paw Patrol, and some other stuff. I voice Sanosuke Sagara and Rurouni Kenshin. I voice Barkamedes and Tease in Monster High series. I have now voiced a anthropomorphic burger and an anthropomorphic, what was it, a shake or a fry or something. I keep voicing food is what I'm trying to say, so my VO goal is that I voice not only the burger but the fries, the shake, maybe a sauce. I don't know.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force Part 2.0.
I'm about to say that.
I'm about to say.
Yeah, right. That's basically what it's
I would love
Literally
for you to
every
be
character.
Like the new Master Shake. That'd be amazing.
Right. That's what it's doing. But yeah, that's me. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be with my brothers in this space. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. I'm gonna pass it to Daniel.
Okay.
Oh man.
What's up, y'all? My name is Daniel Walton. D-Walt, if you feel friendly enough. But yeah, man, I voice in such shows as Penny and Stocking as Garter Belt, Sakamoto Days as the Minimalist, Rurouni Kenshin as Seijiro Hiko. Such shows that I ain't need to tell y'all about yet. What I'm most proud of recently is I voiced in a DreamWorks short film that just was nominated for an NAACP Image Award called Wednesday with Gramps. And I'm so excited that it's out now, and y'all can go watch that on YouTube. It's called Wednesday with Gramps. Y'all go watch that. It's about a black grandson hanging out with his grandfather, and they don't really connect well, but they find ways and stuff to interact with each other. So it's real wholesome stuff. So y'all go check that out.
Oh man.
Go ahead.
I'll add it to the list.
I popcorn to Jalen.
Damn.
Dang, popcorn.
Hey everybody, my name is Jalen Askins. Also go by Jay. I am also a voice actor like the rest of these talented brothers. You have probably heard me in recently Digimon Beat Break as Kyo Sawashiro. And Mushroom Mon and a bunch of other interesting characters. That's on Crunchyroll. I'm also Nomos and Finis in Octopath Traveler 0. I've done commercial work, promo for Adult Swim to promote Bob's Burgers, King of the Hill, Family Guy, and what was the other one? American Dad, King of the Hill, Family Guy, and Bob's Burgers. Yeah, that sounds about right. Also did something for Google, which was pretty cool. Just did something for Snapdragon and did my first medical commercial for Genavix. So yeah, I'm working on some video game stuff and some stuff I can't wait to announce when the time comes. And you can also watch my newest dubbing show, Madame Beja, on HBO Max right now.
My man.
Hi.
Okay. I will pass it over to Bill.
What's good, all you beautiful king, queens, and roller betweens? I'm Bill Butts. I see here. I too enjoy long walks on the beach. Shirley temples are okay. I'm a fan of them. Virgin. Let's see here. On top of that, I think Panning Stockings is an amazing show. Daniel is the blackest dude I've ever seen in my entire life. Had a friend of that there. Happy for Loco. I really cannot wait to see more cosplay of Said in that there. Let's see here. I now do want to watch more Bob's Burgers and also Jalen. Flex. Yeah, I'm in 38 things. I'm the voice of God in 87 things plus 2. Just a small bit. You heard me in Digimon? By the way, I voiced your childhood and your future. That's cool. Man, undersell. I can respect, man. Oh, yeah, what I do. I voice President Barack in an anime called Baki. And I'm the mascot for a little game called Honkai Star Rail. I'm Ogre in Tekken, the announcer for a little game called Capcom Fighting Collection. Capcom. Bargello, an Octopath Traveler, and Anthropomorphic Things. If you enjoy Smiling Friends, yours truly voices Mr. Ice Cream Man. I'm an ice cream man who sells ice cream made of ice cream. You do the math. Captain Jack in One Piece and a ton of other things, but we can talk about that as we get further along. But on that executive moving things further along, pop going to that beautiful king, Kevin.
Hey, yo, thank you for that beautiful segue, my man. I'm Kevin Thelwell. Yeah, as everyone else here is, I'm also a voice actor. I do a lot of dubbing work. I also do directing in dubbing too. To list off some of the shows, I've been like a lead in a bunch of anime dubs. Girlfriend is one. Beast Tamer, long title. The Ice Boy Social Shower, the Ice Boy Social Shower rule the world. Long title. Am I actually the strongest? Too many losing heroines. I've worked on stuff. I play Zeus in One Piece. I play Loki in Blue Lock, Kita in Haikyuu. Voicing stuff like Pokemon, mobile game, Masters, EX. And I've directed a bunch of shows. I last year directed a show, The Water Magician, over at Crunchyroll as well. So that's my baby there. I've assistant directed on shows like Gundam, The Witch of Mercury, Free Ren, Beyond Journey's End, Fairy Tail, like the list goes on. Fire Force, all of the like. Yeah,
that is a lot.
My man.
Nice. Well, now that everybody's introduced yourself, let's go ahead and do a little bit of an icebreaker, okay? So, also, the way this is going to work, if I pick a person and someone else is going to talk, make sure you guys click the raise your hand button at the bottom, okay? That works.
Bet.
So, let's start with an icebreaker. Since it's Black History Month, what's like your favorite Black lead movie? My favorite one is Soul from Pixar.
Does it have to be a cartoon? Can it be
It can be anything.
Mm.
I'm gonna say Friday because I can watch that movie 100 times and it makes me laugh. So I mean, it's a classic. Um, like everyone is so funny. The story is so simple, but yet it's relatable. It's just two guys sitting on their porch. Guy loses his job, and they owe somebody money. Sounds like a good time.
Okay. Okay. All right, Darius.
I'm gonna go with Good Burger. Good Burger is that's like just, man. I know I'm talking about food again, but I love that movie so much. I mean, that's the type of comedy I was raised on, like Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell is like, I feel like together, like literally raised me and my idea of like comedy and how I want to like follow my path as an actor. I love the foolishness. I love the lightheartedness. Like that movie just makes me laugh like every time. I can watch it back to back. That's my jam.
Jalen?
Mine has to be the Proud Family movie.
That's the whole classic.
That movie is a generational thing that can never be replaced or replicated. It was the show was fantastic, but the movie, it hits home every single time. Just showing so much Black excellence all in one place.
Okay, Bill.
Okay, so listen, Black Dynamite.
Yep. Yes.
One of the great Black exploitations I've ever seen or heard of. Down deep in an actor perspective, making fun of writing, blunders, and all that whatnot, even stuntmen. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. That's all I can say about it. Black Dynamite. Quick answer.
Do you like the cartoon too, Bill?
Yes,
the cartoon?
I do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, that's nice. Kevin?
You stole my answer, Bill. Dang.
Get out!
So I'm a pivot then. I'll pivot, keeping like the Black Dynamite energy. I'd say I absolutely adore Rush Hour, but if we're gonna go like animated wise, Spider-Verse. I actually adore
yes,
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's just so good, man. All the vibes that are in that movie, yeah, art style, like just the character, how he interacts with his family, all of it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like you're the last one standing, Daniel.
All right. I'm gonna go a little sentimental because it hits to home, but Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah, that movie, I saw it with my pops like when I was like little, and we were kind of going through like the same struggle a little bit. So it's like one of those movies that like I cry every time I watch it because it hits too close to home for me sometimes. But yeah, Will Smith and Jaden, like they killed that movie. So it was so good. So yeah, that one for sure.
Just watched that on a flight, man, and I was ugly crying, dude. On a
Right.
plane. Damn.
Yeah.
We
It
got
gets
Black man in Section B crying.
Yeah. But it's okay. That's what those movies are for. They gotta they gotta relate to like life in general as well. So, well, guys, now that the ice is broken, let's get into the main event. So, I'm trying to go back down on the questions because lately I've been doing 25 questions in every episode, but I'm trying to go back.
The man 50.
I'm trying to go back to 20. So and plus sometimes it does take longer with 20 questions. So it's gonna work itself out. So let's start with section 1, legacy, origins, and the beginning of the journey. And like I said before, if anyone wants to go next, just make sure you click the raise your hand button, okay? So number 1, as we close out Black History Month, I want to start from the beginning. Now, who were you before voice acting, and what led you to discover that your voice could become part of your legacy? Anybody can go first. All right, Kevin.
All right. So Before voice acting, I was becoming a musician. I played the trumpet, the trombone, all sorts of brass instruments all through middle school, high school, and college. And yeah, I don't know. As I was going through college, I realized, man, the music industry kind of sucks. Everybody's shallow. Everything is weird. Like, this ain't fun anymore. I'm just here to play music and have vibes and have fun, but everybody's here is turning into a little too serious. So I decided to pivot away from that. And at the time in college, I had to, pay my way through college. So I was working side jobs, working call centers and whatnot. And people always said, oh man, you got a cool voice. You could voice acting and something like that. And I'm like, man, I don't know about that. I was having hobbies on the side, like doing little YouTube videos, little parody videos here and there, and just having a good old time. And one day I saw a voice acting competition online from like a YouTuber that I really enjoyed their content, and I decided to enter on a whim and end up like getting a contract on an animation they were doing, my first thing. And I'm like, oh shoot, dang, they got like actual professional voice actors in California in this project. And I'm like, shoot, well maybe I can learn this thing. So I decided to start taking some classes, decided to do some research, had some friends get some favors for me and like get me some advice from some people who actually worked in the industry. And yeah, I looked at the animation industry and anime and whatnot, and I'm thinking like, dang, there's like all of 2 to 3 black people who ever touch like anime, at least when I was looking at it back then. Yeah. We had like Ray Hurd, we had I think Randy Aguilar, we had Danny Chambers, and we had Gabe Kunda, like in Texas at least. And I'm like, dang, that's not a lot. I want to be part of that too. So I decided to take a lot of training, do acting classes in college, and move out to Dallas. And eventually I managed to break my way into anime and working on it for a living.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's how I got it.
For the people, we love it.
My man.
Exactly, man. All right, Bill. All right.
Well, many moons ago. No, like real talk. I grew up a science nerd. I wanted to be the first brother to make it all the way up into space and live. Spoilers, I think that still is gonna happen one of these days. Anyway, God, like I started going to anime cons, and I was having this conflict with my life, what I really wanted to do, because let's face it, like space stuff is cool, astronomy is cool. It's just math, and I realized in college I hated math. I was good at it, but I hated it. So I go to this con, and it's called Anime Nebraska, like the second con I ever went to, like in my life. And we do a panel together, me and some friends. We're just making fun of City Hunter. Just Mystery Science Theater 3000, just riffing it. It's gonna be a good time. And Keith Silverstein crashes the panel. Sits in with us. Everybody's laughing, joking, having a great time. And afterward, I wouldn't talk to him. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna level with you. I see you doing the thing. And I know of like Bo Billingsley, but I can't think of a lot of black people in this business at all, man. Like, got any advice? And he talked with me for an hour. The life, work, the hustle, acting, theater, like the works. And I'm like, thanks, man. What about my day? Now, to Keith, it was, thanks, man. To me, it was going back to school, changing my major to theater and journalism, taking every class under the sun. I competed in film, acted, did everything I could possibly do until eventually, I'm condensing a long story short, I found myself out in LA and just doing on camera, theater, any audition I could possibly do. And I read for a little show called Gundam, and I booked it. After that, fam, I'm like, you know what? I'll be number 3. That's fine. And we just hustled ever since then. There's more to that story, clearly, but we can circle back to it. And that's kind of my little origin story, what led me to where I am before and now.
All right.
That's great, man.
Popcorn Daniel.
Oh, all right. I'll in your tail. Yeah, so I was born and raised here out in LA. I was big sports junkie growing up, so football, basketball, baseball. Played it through high school, did some college, wanted to go pro, but I think at some point during my first year in junior college, I kind of understood like this isn't going to be the move for me going forward, just because I felt like my passion for the game wasn't there anymore and I just wasn't having fun. So it was one of those points where I just had like to pivot into something else. And that's one of the most nerve-wracking things about thinking that you don't have another plan besides the one that you're on right now. It's like, oh, I'm actually not going to accomplish what I wanted to. I actually have to pivot and do something else. So that was kind of scary. But I saw in one of the courses that I had to take for communication broadcasting that I was in college for, that they had an intro to voice acting class. And so I kind of just took that just to get my feet wet because it seemed interesting. So I took the class. It was in a classroom, and there was about like 30 people. And this is around the time COVID was hitting. So we kind of filtered to Zoom at some point, but the class whittled down to like 12 people at some point. And it was a lot of fun. And my teacher, he was cool. He was like this old white dude, and he was been doing radio for decades. So he was like, Daniel, if you really wanted to pursue this profession, you can really go far, just talking like that. And I was like, you really think so? And he's like, yeah. And so it just gave me the confidence to keep pursuing voice acting. And I started taking more classes, doing Zoom classes, and eventually matriculated into finding an agent, having a resume that, could propel me into other avenues. And I thoroughly enjoy what I'm doing now. And this ride so far has been crazy. So I'm just having the best time of my life right now. So.
My man.
Interesting, man. I like it.
Hell yeah. Don't be afraid to pivot, folks. It's always okay. You can always have a plan B. All right. Popcorn. Cedric.
Hey, what's up? So I've always wanted to be in some form of entertainment. I was always like, acting out cartoons I've watched on TV, mimicking voices. I've always had like a funny sounding voice. I would get made fun of for it. I wanted to pursue acting after I left high school. So I moved to LA. I didn't know that voice acting was a thing. So I was doing, had a on-camera agent. Back then I had really bad skin. So like I would go out on auditions for like the pizza face kid and like, the nerdy kid or whatever. And occasionally I would see some voice acting auditions like on Craigslist or like, just like Actors Access. And I found myself becoming more excited about those because like I didn't know it was a thing. And then like one day I watched the video, it randomly popped up on my YouTube, and it was a guy who made a voice acting demo, and he was just doing some crazy voices, and something clicked, and I was just like, wait, voice acting, that's a thing? Wait, for cartoons? So SpongeBob is not actually like, it's actually a guy behind that character, like voicing that guy that I love so much, SpongeBob. And so I looked into it, and then like I became a sponge myself and started absorbing all this knowledge. I started watching interviews of my favorite voice actors, and I was just putting two and two together. Like, wait, he voiced that character and that character and that character? I had no idea. She voiced that character? Cool. And then like when I am interested in something, I become a master at it. Like I do a ton of research. I become very knowledgeable of it. And so I listen to podcasts. I there was a website called Voice Bank at one point, and you can listen to everybody's demo, including like big voice actors. So I studied that, and eventually I made a demo. I had no previous acting training, so I just sort of like learned as I went. I started out doing like indie stuff, indie cartoons, and like this is why I was like doing the on-camera stuff, like doing student films and like indie films and the occasional auditioning for things. But as the voice acting started to pick up, I eventually got the attention of a manager. And she was like, I don't have any room on my roster for, at the moment, but can I like submit you to like an agency? So she submitted me to an agency. At the time it was CESD. And from there I just started auditioning. I have a new agent right now. I'm with Arlene Thornton, but like throughout, you know, my journey, a lot of failing, a lot of learning, and just kept auditioning until I booked my first anime in 2017, which was Hunter x Hunter. And since then I just been, you know, trying to find where I fit, trying to discover things about myself and learning and finding out that this voice acting thing is bigger than what I could possibly imagine. There's so many different types of voice acting. Like if you do the cartoons, we're shaping young minds that watch the kids' cartoons. When we play video games, people are playing our characters and they feel like they are that character because they're playing that character. We have adult animation. We have anime, which inspires people and has great stories. So I saw that this is something that I could like possibly one day be a great influence and make a positive impact through my work. And I'm gonna pass it to who hasn't went yet. I'll pass it to Darius.
Yeah. Hey. So before I was a voice actor, I always, well, I won't say always, but in middle school / like beginning of high school, I definitely hit a point where I knew I wanted to perform. And that was actually just like acting. Like I was like Broadway bound. I was like, I want to do musicals, I want to be on stage, and that's what I did for a long time in high school. And so I realized, oh, I went to college and I was like in a sea of people who had actually been like training and doing musical theater versus like I was doing it at a high school that had no support. So it was like anybody that did it would get a lead role because nobody did it. So that hit me hard, and I was like, oh wow, like I actually don't know a lot about like acting in general. Like we didn't study acting in high school. It was just like an extracurricular. Like but I ended up studying acting and I minored in dance. Dance took over my life for a little bit because I've always loved dance, but then I started to really find this love with it. So like I kind of like that kind of blew up for me, and I was doing a lot of dance stuff, joining different dance companies and troops and all types of stuff. I ended up dancing on ESPN at one point. It's a wild time. And then but 2015, I on a whim watched that documentary, I Know That Voice, and that changed my life. Like that was like my two greatest loves like got married. Like, and I was so unaware of it. Like same with like said, like I was like, wait, that is a thing. Wait, duh. And the documentary is a bunch of people all saying they studied musical theater and improv and comedy and stand-up. And I was like, wait, these are all the things I love. But they were also like, but I loved cartoons. When I found out this was a gig, I was like, wait, this is the gig. These are the people. And so that inspired me to do it. And, you know, I hit the ground running. And like 2016, the next year I went to grad school. I actually went to Savannah College of Art and Design. So I was out there for like 2 years. And then I moved to DC in 2018. And that's when I started doing stuff like in the real world, voice acting, like on all the platforms, trying to just learn. Like I remember, and I still have this photo because I always look back at this one photo that I have. I need to put it in my booth. Like it is a picture of me with just a USB mic in this closet, holding the blanket up above my head because I had no other way, and having the time of my life. I was like, this is so fun. I think I love this thing. And so I just, you know, took a deep dive into it, eventually brought myself out to LA and, you know, got to find my community. Like, this is like my home, and not LA. These people right now, even on this panel, like this is my home. Like, I'm like, everybody asks me, oh, how's LA? And you know, you loving it? Because I've been out here for like 5 years now. And I'm like, it's home. And I know what I mean when I say that. So it means a lot to me to, again, be here right now and sharing the space with y'all and just getting a chance to even tell my story. Thank you. And then who's Jalen said?
Yeah, he's the last one standing. Jalen's the last one standing.
Yeah, get up here.
Oh goodness. So I mean, before I was a voice actor, funny thing is I knew I wanted to be a voice actor at 6 years old. Which is crazy. But my first ever, things was animation was my first love. Preferably Hanna-Barbera cartoons because we had Boomerang.
Oh
And
yes,
so,
I remember.
so
I
my
remember.
father and I, we would watch like Tom and Jerry, Scooby Doo, Jabberjaw, Josie and the Pussycats, Huckleberry Hound. There was so much to go there, and even the old school Looney Tunes. So that was my learning experience, along with the Disney Renaissance movies. One of my favorites, hands down, is Hercules, because of the muses. But growing up, I knew I wanted to be a voice actor, but I didn't know that's what it was called. Like everybody, we didn't know what that was. And when I told my family was like, "Oh, so you just want to be an on-camera actor?" I'm like, No, I want to do what Eddie Murphy do in Shrek. I want to do what Tom Kenny does in SpongeBob. Like that's what I want to do. And I just didn't know where to start. That's the beauty of what we do. We never know where to start, but once we get started, we find our footing, we find where we fit in, and we're not. The beauty of this business is you're not just in one box. You can do anything. And that's what I love about this business. So the first class I ever took was in my first year of college, at Del Mar Media Arts, with Bud and Bunny Barth. Shout out to them. And I met, some people who also wanted to try voice acting, but I learned so much because I was like, this is the world I want to be in. This is the world I want to play in. This is my home, so it was like, I need to learn everything I can and figure it out. And, even in high school, in my senior year, I was the voice of the rallies. So they would come to me and they say, "Hey, we got this theme. We're doing Alice in Wonderland. Can you do a British accent and sound like the Cheshire Cat?" Yes, absolutely. So after that, it was just like, finding people, like-minded people, finding friends and everything like that. And, I've been blessed enough to be doing this for full time for now 3 years. And I'm grateful for these people that I've met, including the guys in this panel. Like they inspire me every day with the stuff that they do and their voices. And it just goes to show, there's a new rise, especially in Black voice actors. There's more than just Cree Summers and Kevin Michael Richardson and Phil Lamar and Keith David. There's us too now. And there's still a whole bunch of us that unfortunately are not in this chat, but it shows that, stuff is happening, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
That's great, man. First off, it's a coincidence you said Hanna-Barbera because I just started watching the Scooby-Doo show today.
Yes.
So, old 1970s. But I'm glad that I got to hear all of you guys' stories. I think that's really amazing. And guess what? These next few years are about to be even more amazing for you guys. Can't wait to see what y'all do. So, and pretty much answered most of section 1 already. So let's go to the last question, then we'll go into section 2.
Okay.
Because I was like, shoot, they already answered like all 1 to 4 questions already.
We're professional.
Yeah.
So looking back now, what would you say to the version of yourself who was just starting, unsure of where this path would lead? Take your time. Anybody can go first, okay?
I mean, that's a very deep question, brother.
I'll start.
Yeah.
I'll start. I mean, I'm gonna kind of like steal some stuff that people already said because I think there's been some brilliant things just discussed already. I mean, I love what Daniel said about like you can always like pivot. The choices are endless, but that's more of a general thing. But I think for me, it would have to be something along the lines of like keep failing, because that's how you're learning. Like your failures teach you so much, and for some and for others, that may be like, what do you mean? Like, keep feeling. I don't want to feel that feeling. That is a bad feeling. So like, I don't want to associate myself with that feeling. And it's not that I want to associate myself with that feeling or push, my younger self to be like, yeah, don't do it at all. Like, no, more like learn to be okay with the relationship of feeling. I think that we can like just look back on things from our lives and cringe or just like want to ignore it because it's like, oh, that was so bad. Oh, I did that so bad and this and that. And it's like, nah, like, what did I learn from that? Like, I want to hold on to that. It's kind of like that whole no regrets thing. You know what I mean? It's like, for real, like, I really look at it as like, I don't want to regret, because if I actually took that experience away from myself, I might not be voice acting today. I might not be in California today. I might not, you know what I mean? There are so many things that taught me to take risks, taught me to stand up for myself, taught me, I'm sure, come on, we got the Black VO panel. I'm sure we've all dealt with so many things and certain rooms just dealing with like the blackness of ourselves, our black skin. And it's like any pain that I've dealt with being a black man in this society, like especially younger Darius has taught older Darius today that's like, I'm gonna own my space. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna call people out. And those things, I wouldn't be this version of myself if it wasn't for me going through those things. So again, just like I would tell myself to like it's okay what you're going through, because that is literally going to make you stronger. It's going to help you evolve. It's going to develop certain parts of you. Yeah, I think I ended at that.
Oh, man.
And Bill?
I'll make it real short and sweet. Have more fun and be more vulnerable. Just simple as that, fam.
Right. Of course. Jalen?
Something I would say is don't be afraid to be unapologetically and authentically yourself.
Hey.
Reason being is you have a unique perspective. We all do. There's something we bring to voice acting that no one can replicate or do. And I think by being yourself, you bring an interesting perspective that probably has never been used before. And I had to learn pretty early on, there's only one me in the universe. And of all the people in the universe, there's only one me. There's only one Darius. There's one Bill, one Kevin, one Cedric, one Daniel, and one you, Phil. And no one can be you, live through your experience, or tell your story but you. So every time I step up to the mic, I'm like, okay, where's Jalen in this? Where is he? Because he's somewhere in that character. No matter how fantasy, no matter where it is, find you in it. Because once you start finding yourself, then that character is just going to be that much more authentic, no matter what you're doing. So that's something that I would tell my younger self. Don't be afraid to be yourself.
All right. Kevin?
Yeah, something I tell my younger self is don't be afraid to take more risks. What got me in the industry is probably taking some of the biggest risks I've ever done in my life, and I don't regret any of them. I'm really happy that I did, and they changed the course of my life. Even right now, as we speak, I am deciding to try harder to change my life and take even bigger risks than I ever have before. And, hopefully they just turn out the same way as my past risks do. I'm a pretty reserved and pretty cautious and, pretty backup plan oriented dude. And past me, if I were to know like how well it works out if I just take more risks, then yeah, I'd be pretty happy. Go even faster.
All right. That's amazing, Kevin. Cedric?
I would tell my younger self to stop comparing yourself to others. Just like Jalen said, there's only one you. There's something that you can do better than anyone else, and there are characters for you. So we all have roles that we want, and when someone that we know gets it, it could hurt at first, but that role is meant for them. Your time will come if you keep going, because, like Jalen said again, like, when you find yourself in the characters, they'll find you as well.
Yeah, that's nice. Daniel, you're the last one standing.
I'd tell younger me, yeah, it's okay to be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's one of the things like my coaches would tell me is like, be comfortable being uncomfortable. Being in uncomfortable situations sometimes is also beneficial for you. And a lot of the times when I was younger, my perception of what I wanted to do and what others thought of it deterred me from doing it. So if something was uncool, I wouldn't partake in it. Like, I wish I did more theater in high school because at the time, I was a big fan of like High School Musical and Troy's like conflict of like, I want to be an athlete, but I also want to do theater. I don't know what to choose. Like, I was in that like same conflict a little bit. And I was like, I kind of want to do both, but what will my teammates think of me? But I wish I more so just did what I thought was cool to me and had fun doing it. Because when I started to do theater in high school or took a theater class, it was fun. So I just wish I just didn't listen to the inner thoughts of like, oh, this is uncool, this is lame. Like, because I probably would have had more fun doing something I'd never done before if I just didn't think about that stuff. So yeah, that's probably what I would tell myself.
Wow, that is amazing, guys. Oh, I feel so squishy on the inside listening to all these stories. Well, that's amazing, y'all. Keep doing what makes y'all happy, all right? Now that we're done with section 1, we're in section 2 now. So section 2 is called Identity, Representation, and the Weight of Being Seen. Now, number 6, what does it mean to you, not just professionally, but personally, to exist and succeed as a Black voice actor in this moment in history? Cedric?
It's an absolute honor to be mentioned on the same list as like Cree Summer, Phil Lamar, Kevin Michael Richardson, the legends that paved the way for us. And you know, um, every day we're doing this. It's Black history. We're inspiring the next generation, and it's just an absolute honor because, like, we have like the next generation is looking up to us right now, like how we looked up to those legends that I mentioned earlier, and you know, a lot of us do anime here, and anime is like the new wave. People love anime, and there wasn't a lot of us in anime before, so we're kind of like the pioneers. And now those future Black voice actors can be like, okay, I see people that look like me, I can do it too. We didn't have that when we first started, or there wasn't that many of us, and now we can do that for somebody, and it feels great to be a part of that movement. So yeah, it makes me happy.
Jalen?
Yeah, to share that sentiment, it's like, you know, growing up, we just wanted to see somebody or hear somebody that was just like us. You know, there was so many voice actors out in the world, but Black voice actors, we needed that in our community because it's like, you know, because you know, and I can say from my experience in with Black family, my dad was like sports. That's what it was. And I think a lot of young Black men can, you know, attest to this. It's like it's sports or, you know, music or something else. But voice acting is never something where it's like, that's the thing. And I think by us even being on this panel, let alone just doing what we do, it's showing young black, not just young Black male voice actors, but also young, you know, Black women that y'all can do this too. There is no limitations to just doing either or. We all can say that we decided to go against the grain and do something that we enjoy, that we love, that we grew up on. So to be a part of this and to do something like that, it shows the next generation, oh, okay, there's another way. There's something else I can do. And it doesn't just, you know, stop with us. It'll continue way beyond us. And I think in this day and age, it's needed because they need to know that we're here and we're here to stay. And we got stories to tell.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Darius? Oh, was it? Or was it Bill?
Bill.
Okay, go ahead.
It's okay, Daniel. I see you. No, like I just kind of want to. My answer kind of yes ends that right there, but I love it because it's a reflection of reality within itself. We of the Black community are precisely what you're seeing right now. It's not what the world portrays, because it's like when I first came out to LA, a lot of my options were play a drug addict or a slave, and I kept saying no to everything like that. Because even when it comes to theater, movies, things like that, that's what we get. Another, 12 years a slave, go great. Amistad, fantastic. All right, bet. Pulp Fiction, N-word said every 5 minutes, and then they shoot Bob. It's this resounding gong of what society tries to portray as what the Black experience is and what they think it deserves, to be honest with you. And that's a lie. So we look at things like this going full circle with, like, we get a Black president. It's incredible. And it's showing not just the Black community of the true options we can get, but it shows the ignorant community outside of us who maybe judges us in a horrible, wrong way, that this is the reality of what Black is. The true equity to equality of the fact of the matter is that we can do anything. And we can and should be able to do everything. So even in this chat right now, I can like again before I'm hearing this, and I'm hyped. When we first started, I was real about like, oh no, I love hearing all this. I'm seeing this because it's giving me life, because it's showing not only me, but actually even those who's going to watch this stream right now. It's just that this is the truth. This is the beauty that is Black people. Now, can we code switch? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I want to hear more anthropomorphic people that happen to be voiced by Black people. I want kids to be able to see this and be like, oh, wow. My options, going with what Jalen was saying, is not just like sports. There's more to it. Be a politician. Be the athlete too. I'm not shooting that down. Work at a McDonald's. Run that thing. Do what you want to do that gives you life. Because what I'm hearing again and again in this chat is people saying, this gave me joy. And I pursued it. And it completed this chunk in my soul. And seeing all that now just reminds me of that. It just thinks it's the point.
That's nice. That's great, Bill.
Yeah.
Darius?
Yeah, I'm kind of echo what some people said. And real quick before I say that, I have time for one more question after this. Just want to put that out there. Yeah, kind of echoing. It's truly an honor, and I think the thing that makes me like the most giddy and so joyful is the idea of, yes, like the generation behind us, getting to see us, but kind of in this way of like, I know for myself, I was definitely like a Black kid that wasn't doing stereotypical Black shit. And so it was always this thing where like, Darius, you so cool. But then when I do this, when I do that, when I pull out my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I'm like, what's up? Let's duel. It's confusion to people. People get confused and they try to make sense of me. They try to, I've been deemed, all types of stuff because it's like, that can't be a Black man, which is a whole nother conversation that like, that's my thesis. I ain't gonna do that right now. But what makes me so happy is that little Black kids that are running around the playground and doing shit that brings them joy, that isn't stereotypically Black. And people go, oh, well, that's that. Oh, this is that. You're not acting like this. It's like, no. You don't know Daniel Walton? He inspires me. Oh, you don't know Jalen? You don't know Bill Butt? You know what I mean? Like, they're looking at us and it's like, oh, I'm just playing my favorite character, Poco Loco. You don't know him? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, they get to see us in this media, and suddenly it helps click for people who are like, well, I thought this wasn't. No, it is Black. It's unapologetically Black. In fact, it's played by a Black actor, and that's who's inspiring me to do this thing on the playground or play my Yu-Gi-Oh cards or like my Magic cards. Like, there's so many Black, like literal Black characters in the lore of Magic. It's like there's so much just Black media that I think helps support the choices that the younger generation makes, that are like, it opens the door to people's lens to be like, oh, this is Black and this is Black, this, and it's not even that it has to be a Black thing. This is just like, it's universal for real, if we can be honest. But it's also lives in the Black landscape, you know? And so I'm happy that we can do that.
Nice. That's nice, man. Daniel?
Yeah, like I'm so happy that anime now is, for better or worse, like it's mainstream now. And like it used to be, I don't know, you'd be called weird or just crazy if you like expressed your anime fandom. I don't know, in the past, but I'm so happy that in today's world we can nerd out and just talk about it, and just like so many people now, Black or white or otherwise, like they know about anime. And like I can literally go to like anybody on the street and like, you've heard of like Dragon Ball Z, right? You've heard of this show, right? And it's so crazy that I am in this space now where I'm in shows that people would like dismiss me, or like they would like tell me like you're weird because you outwardly express that you like this show. And I don't know, it just feels so good. Like I had my first convention a while ago, and I, you know, had conversations with people, and then at the end of the con, like I met these two like Black guys, and they saw me. They didn't come up to my table, but they saw me, and like they saw the characters that I voiced, and like they're like, dog, like you voiced this character in the show. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's me. And like I was just having a conversation with them. It's like, dog, like they really like think that's cool, and like they also want to get into it. So like having that interaction was like so surreal for me. And I just, you know, was talking them up, trying to like get them into it. Like, if y'all want to do VO, like, you know, hit me up, or we exchange contacts, like we can chop it up sometime. And I was just like, I'm never going to tell them no. Like, come on, let's do it. Like, I'll help you. Like, if you want to get into it, we need more. So I was just like, at the end of it, I was just like, this is crazy. So I'm just so glad that I had that impact. So yeah, that's it. That was so cool.
That's amazing, Daniel. And last but not least, Kevin.
Yeah, just to add on to what everybody's saying. Yeah, dude, growing up, going around school, you know, you hear the way I talk. I've always talked like this, bro. I've got family, like my family's Caribbean. We all talk a certain way. And when I'm around my family, you know, I tend to talk a certain way too. But growing up, both parents working double jobs all the time. And they ain't all the time. If I'm not babysitters, I'm at home. What do I got with me? I got my video games. I got my TV. I'm out here playing, you know, Pokemon, you know, Sapphire, Fire Red and all that, getting my vocabulary from those games, and watching cartoons. And on cartoons, you don't really hear, you know, too many people who sound Black, quote unquote. So I'm really just kind of learning my speech, getting my development from all these different cartoons I'm working. So I don't typically sound naturally like people would assume I would be from my skin color. I'm out here at school, you know, oh yeah, I'm down to play some Bakugan, some Beyblades, some Yu-Gi-Oh, some Pokemon TCG, all that. And they're like, hey, that's not Black of you. You're an Oreo dog. And I'm like, what you talking about, man? My mom's Black, my dad's Black. What you mean? I'm as Black as anybody's ever been. But, you know, because I don't talk a certain way, I'm all of a sudden, you know, not as Black as the other kids in my class, and you get picked on for it. And, you know, going into me starting to get into voice acting, you know, piggybacking off of other people's what they were saying, like I'm seeing people like Cedric in Hunter x Hunter, and I'm like, whoa, hold on, let me Google this guy. Wait a second, he's just like me. That's crazy, you know. So this is something that I can do too. So I started breaking into the industry, and like people who are lovingly trying to teach me voice acting or give me advice were like, hey, I'm going to be real with you. Because of the way you look, people are going to expect a certain sound from you. And I'm like, oh no, it can't be that bad. And then me trying to, you know, get into my first couple studios, they're like, all right, so we'll give you one audition every couple months, and this guy's going to be 6'5", 250 pounds. He's from the hood, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, you don't want my voice for that, bro. You don't want my voice for that. But I'm like, that's the only opportunities I'm getting, so I have to try. I'm not gonna book it, but I'm like, all they see is a headshot Black, or a spreadsheet Black, and then like, oh, we know what kind of character works for this guy, and they, you know, they just don't appreciate that. I'm more than just, you know, what my race is. We don't just all fit the same mold. So yeah, figuring that out, breaking out of the mold, and, you know, carving the space for people that sound, you know, more than just stereotype is something that we've all had to work on. Like we talk about Phil Lamar, talk about Kreese and all that, and, you know, how they're awesome and they're great, but they themselves will admit that they're the exception to the rule. They've got in because not only lucky circumstance, but like, you know, the higher ups, the man, if you will, allowed them to get in, to be, you know, the token, to be the exception to the rule. And just because, you know, we're even here today doesn't mean the rules have been fixed or broken yet. We're still just the exception, and we're slowly opening that faucet to let everyone get a fair, equal shot.
Wow. That's exactly, guys. That's really amazing, you guys, that y'all you know, we have new people who are inspiring young people to say, hey, no matter what you do, you can do this no matter what anybody else says. And one other thing too, I don't know how you guys keep doing it, but Section 2, y'all answer most of my questions in that one too. I don't know how y'all do it. Do I need to pick your brains or something? Well, shoot. I know Bill and Darius have to get. So Darius, you said you had one more time for one more question. That's what you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and go into section 3. I just want to answer what y'all. You can answer this first question in section, then you guys can go. Okay. But for this question, I'm gonna let Bill and Darius go first. Okay, is that okay with everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to hang around to see everybody's answer too, and then I'll dip after.
Want to do that? Want to do that?
Yeah, I want to see everybody's, you know,
okay,
question, and then I'll dip before the next question.
Okay. I got you. All right, so let's go into section 3, the craft through the lens of identity, culture, and truth. Now, as a Black voice actor, how have your lived experiences shaped the way you approach characters, especially those who carry strength, struggle, or resilience?
You know, quite a bit more than no, I will admit a lot, actually, because when it comes to acting, it is just a simple reflection of ourselves put into these characters. Jalen hit the button like right there. When it comes to characters I voice, some have a lot of pain, some have a lot of joy. It could be something as simple as, we'll go with Albert and Honkai Star Rail. My career started in political talk radio to radio. So literally, it's just me being me in my 20s. That's what it is. Simple as that, doing Albert. And it could be something even deeper, like a black belt martial artist, or all that most of my life. And I even had a survival job in a Costco pharmacy for forever and a day. So a lot of that I took into the show called Rurouni Kenshin, where I play Hajime Saito. And playing Saito, it's more so like a guy who's just been through so much, just editing myself, stuff in his life. And he's tired, but he's not really depressed with it. He has a wife, he's got a family, everything like that there, but every bit the music is gone. See my voice, yay! No. Yeah, I'm doing. We've all had days where we're like, how you doing? One step or another, brother, we are right here. It's that same energy. And there's been scenes even I would share, even with like Darius Sanosuke in that one there, where like there's this moment when it comes to this acting craft where you have to deliver the subtleties of your own life and put things in between the lines, things that are said but not said. So there's this scene where him and I are having this little back alley brawl. And his character is this real up-and-comer. He's got a lot of potential, whatnot. But the characters that I play, and also Howard plays, he plays literally Kenshin, are these old war heroes. They have been through it and done, like, I'm talking, they've murdered so many people. It's been in war. And the entire time, the energy I'm portraying to that is, you don't, please no. You do not want this. So when it comes to this acting bit, and also, sorry, this is a long answer. I cannot give you a short answer to this question. The most important question
in acting for the actor is, what is the most important scene? And the answer is the scene that happened before. And that's the energy you bring forward to give you your pre-life and your entire bit throughout the acting bit. So in that instance there, what happened before was this guy who had spent all this time and all this mess and had done everything, and he knows his choice, he knows his path. It's that pain that happened before, and he sees that in this person. He's saying like, no, please. And every scene after that, it's that same bit. Even with Albert, the scene happened before. And the scene happened before, a lot of times can reflect on what has happened in your life. It's just reflected for that there. That gives you your truth. So you say you even read a side with not. Cool. It could be a side for a Nickelodeon side. That might give you like 5 things out there and there's no description at all. You have to make it up. Cool. All right. Let's go to the basic script analysis. All right. How do I handle the situation when I'm acting? All right, bet. Am I sitting up? Am I standing down? Am I doing this here? How does my character feel before this, which carries over through to the next bit? And when it comes to the acting bit of my own personal experience, and also when it comes to even just life, they go hand in hand. So as I'm trying to take them all the time, because I know I got to go and hit a little for work, and O'Dare says too, that is my truth right there with that. So everything that I've done, I brought forward to make the characters real, and I even carry that onto even dubbing anime in the works.
That's great, Bill. I love that.
Yeah, I can
do you
go.
want to go first?
I'll jump in. I mean, that perfect segue, because you know, I want to also mention and talk about the pain that we carry and how we use that, you know. Based off your question, that's the first thing that came to my mind. It's like, just like knowing the pain of the generation of my family beforehand, knowing the generation of my or the pain of my ancestors, knowing the pain of just Black ancestors in general, like learning about our history and learning what people had to go through. And then I say it's a perfect segue because I wanted to discuss Sanosuke, and like I love playing that character, not only because it's like, a chance to like voice act. No, like this is a character who will like literally cut off his arms, cut off his legs. That's not what happens, but I'm saying cut off his legs, cut off his arms, cut off his tongue. He will still be like talking and moving and trying to, whatever his task is, he's still going to do it. He is not going to give up. And that scene Bill's talking about, he just beats me down, get my ass beat, but I'm still talking. And I get some props in that moment. It's like, wow, like, you know, you bleeding and yet you still want to say something. But that scene and playing characters like that is just so close to home for me, because that's who I am. Like, I knew that I wanted to pursue something with my voice and being performative or whatever, because in middle school I used to get in trouble constantly for talking back to teachers. And I wasn't a bad kid. That's the thing. I was not a bad kid. I just always had something to say. It was always, hold on, I'm not done. Hold on, I'm gonna state my case. Hold on. And my teachers would get so mad because no kid would talk like that. But I'm like, I believe in what I need to say, and I'm gonna say it. And I'm not scared to say it. And that's why I love playing characters like that, because they have that strength, you know. Like, I'm somebody who's like never gonna stop, and that's truly who I am. I went literally from kindergarten to grad school consecutively, like, which I don't recommend, but I still did it because I'm somebody who's just like, I'm gonna keep going, I'm not gonna stop. And so being able to take all of that emotion, that pain, that journey, and play into and use that for character work is just a joy, you know. It's like, kind of makes me thankful that I went through something that I can at least connect with when I'm acting.
That's amazing, Darius. That's amazing. Jalen, you got something to say?
So to echo the sentiment of my two brothers, a word that I would use to describe what to do, especially with all the pain, not just us, but our ancestors and before us: resilience. Resilience. And, you know, just like they talked about a role that resonated with them, the role that resonates with me, I'm currently doing. Hio Sawashiro from Digimon Beat Break. And the reason why is because, growing up, I take everything on by myself, And because I did that, there was pain there. It'd be like, I need help, but I'm not going to ask for it because I feel like if I ask for it, it doesn't. It's okay to ask for help. And with Hio has this thing where he constantly tries to burden himself with the entire world's problems and doesn't let his friends know what's going on. And it explodes in episode 7. And in that episode, his friends get mad at him. Like, why didn't you tell us this was going on? And he was like, it may be my ego, it may be this, but I didn't want to burden you with my issues, which I resonated with. Because that's been my life, especially for the past 4 years, because I have a very tumultuous relationship with my father for the past 4 years, because something he did. And to keep all those emotions in, because I had to be, as they say, when a man's not doing his job, the man of the house, you have to take on so much that's not even your job. That comes with emotions, that comes with baggage, that comes with everyone turning to you for answers when you barely have the answers for yourself. So to play a character like that in anime, when I saw this, I was like, that's me. It doesn't matter his skin tone. It doesn't matter what his hair looked like, hair texture. It doesn't matter. That's me. And through that episode and throughout this entire series, I've been able to tell that story through that pain in a way where it's like, oh shit, I didn't even think about it that way. I'm seeing a reflection of myself told through a fantasy world, but I'm not seeing a fantasy world. I'm seeing my friends, my family, my people. And overall, I'm letting people know this is authentically me. I'm not doing it to put on a performance. I'm telling the story as if basically that's what happened to me. This is what I go through. And I think that's what us as storytellers, us as voice actors, we tell stories through pain. We're not always happy all the time. We're not always, but we still sit there and go like, there's a story to tell. And it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. It wasn't easy for our ancestors. It wasn't easy for the generation before us. It wasn't easy. But I think that's the point of why we are who we are. Because we, despite the pain, despite the struggle, we still say, hey, even though all this bad shit has happened, you can still come out on the other side positive and still be okay. Because you got people who got you. You just got to ask for help. That's all. But that's just me.
Yeah. It's still powerful though. I like it, Daniel.
Thank you.
I'm Daniel. You want to go next?
Yeah. I don't think there's like a substitute for actual therapy. But I feel like VO for me is like pseudo therapy sometimes. My favorite thing is like getting characters who I practically have nothing in common with, but I have to find something in common with. Because it forces me to access the Rolodex in my mind or past experiences that I've had, and I've had to relate to at least something. And a good example of that is this guy I played in Sakamoto Days. He's called the Minimalist. He's like a serial killer. And I was just like, oh, he's cool. I've never killed anyone. So I've almost wanted to. So, but how do I relate to this guy? So I had to think about times where I've had to think about almost killing someone. And I had to go back to like grade school, like 3rd grade. Like, yeah, there was this one dude, like, I hated him so much. I wanted to actually inflict pain and hurt him and potentially kill him. But could never go through with that. So I had to figure out why I wanted to kill him. It was because he was a bully. And I hated going to school every day because he would always just be in my face and make every day suck. And I never really like confronted that part of like my early years. So it's like, yeah, I really did hate going to school. Like I really did hate that part of that year or so of my life. And I just like had to think about that so much. And I was just like, I don't even like thinking about this. But I brought that to the performance because he was actually one person that's one fight. I fought him too. I actually got to fight him. I fought him one time and I won the fight. But I was like, dog, I really hate this dude with a passion. And yeah, that's what I love about this profession. It's just like it really makes me think about stuff that I've never thought of for years. And maybe it helps me be a better person, or it just helps me resolve certain issues that I neglected to just, you know, think about for a while. But I'm just kind of happy. Like I'm able to have this job that, you know, occasionally I'll get to play with stuff. And I just, it's crazy. It's amazing that I'm able to figure out more about myself through this profession. And I'm just, I don't know. I'm just happy that I get to play more. So that's it.
Cedric?
Wow, really great answers, guys. Like this has been inspiring me a lot. Thank y'all so much for your honesty. So when you play these characters, you look back and you see a trend of like, okay, I play these type of characters, but they see me as. And then you sort of analyze it. I play a lot of characters that are high energy and funny. And that reflects in my past when I was in school and I was a class clown trying to get attention. There's something deeper than that. Like I wanted attention because I felt invisible. I was in Kentucky where, you know, pretty weird way of life there when it comes to different races, thinking that they're better than another race. And, you know, so I wanted to not be seen as like a subhuman. So I tried my best to fit in with a group that didn't like me. And I even tried to get approval from my peers who thought I talked very proper and weird. Kevin could probably relate to this. And so to do that, to fit in, I had to be funny. I had to have this energy to so people could notice me. And that's why I've noticed I played a lot of characters like that. And in also another layer to it is wanting to be seen. A lot of characters I play are underdogs. They want to do they want to be seen. They want to feel important. They want to contribute something to this world. And you know, you don't. I haven't really like thought about it as I was doing it, but like looking back on all the characters, yeah, like it's in us already, and that's the characters that we're gonna bring to life, and we're gonna keep discovering more about ourselves that we thought that we lost. And yeah, it's been really cathartic to put our life and our soul into these characters because someone else can relate to it as well, and it can heal them as well.
Right. All right. Lastly, Kevin.
Yeah. To just put a bow on that, my version of that would be I always try to find the part of myself, like Daniel said, that relates to a character no matter what kind of character it is. And some of them, you know, are a lot easier than others. One of the ones that I felt like was really kind of just pulling the soul out of me into the microphone was when I worked on Haikyuu for a short time on the character Akita. And that's a character whose whole foundation is based on hey, I as a person am not particularly talented. I am not necessarily good enough to be around these other people who are talented, but I work hard consistently every day just to be able to barely compete with these guys. And as somebody who's basically normal compared to all these talented, basically like demons and whatnot, is a fun quote from that one is say, like, hey, I'm like just a human who got invited to the Monster Ball. And that was something while I was recording where I'm like, dang, I'm sitting here working on this show that's beloved, that's going on for so many years, that has so many talented people on it. I go back to, to my booth and I sit down and I direct actors like, Danny Chambers, like Chris Sabat, Monica Rial. And I'm sitting here like, what am I doing here? What is a guy who, in my mind, I don't have crazy talent. I don't, step in front of the mic and expect everybody to fall to their knees bawling when I get on there. I'm just somebody who decided to do this one day and work my butt off, put blood, sweat, and tears into this just to barely be able to be at the table. And the fact that I've made it this far, the fact that I've gotten, recognition that I have, that I feel like I really don't deserve. I feel like I can do way more. I feel like I can do better. Like I can work harder. And that's a character that basically mirrors me almost to a T. I feel what he does, and even though at the end of his story arc, he ultimately doesn't make it as far as he wants, he fails at his goal and has to be fine with, where he made it. And he realizes, hey, I made it a lot farther than I expected, and I'm happy that I took this journey. So regardless of where this journey takes me at the end of the day, I know I'm going to work my butt off, and playing that character really, really was bringing tears to my eyes while I was recording toward the end of it. It was just ripping it out of me. It's like Daniel said it. Sometimes like you play a few characters and it's like, man, I feel like I'm in a therapy session because this script, this is just pulled out of my head. What's going on here? This character is just me. It's crazy.
Amazing stories, guys, all of you. Y'all really inspire me to keep doing bigger things, especially with the times now where we got all these projects that we excited to be a part of. So I say we just keep the pressure on and just keep being productive every day. So, but anyway, I know Bill and Darius, I know you guys got to get moving. I just want to say thank you guys for coming in. It's good to spend some time with us.
Appreciate you.
Share the space with our brothers.
Yeah.
All right.
Y'all enjoy the rest of the panel. Can't wait to see what y'all got to say.
Thank y'all, Kings, for joining and sharing your stories.
That was a blast.
Later.
No
problem. See you all around. Appreciate you.
No problem.
See you around.
We're doing the cookout soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man.
All right, we'll continue, but I think I saw Amari just come in a second ago. I didn't want to add him because I didn't want to interrupt you guys are speaking, but he'll probably come in later. But let's go ahead because I think we're getting close to the end anyway. Because there's only a few questions left. Because the thing is we're already on section 3, and then section 4 is going to be the conclusion. So, but let's keep the magic happening, okay?
Okay.
And if Amari comes back, then I'll let him in, and then he'll replace Darius and Bill.
My anime dad is here. Father, you're here, Father.
All right. Next question. Now, voice acting often asks you to step into a world of heroes, villains, and survivors. How does your identity influence the humanity you bring to those characters?
That's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'd say that I, generally play the good guys in a lot, because, the meter of my voice and whatnot. But in the few times that I have played villains for me, personally, I feel like it's kind of easy to jump into a comically evil sense of being, like, being as the experiences that we've gone through in life. I'm sure we can all attest that we've ran into a few antagonistic people for just no other reason versus, where we're from, how we look and all that. And it's funny to look at somebody and be like, I don't know how you can exist. Well, how do these mindsets ever persist? And sometimes when I'm playing a character and I'm like, cool, how would this comically evil character, represent? I'm thinking, oh wait, no, these people kind of do exist in real life. Hold on, let me just pretend to be them. And yeah, I played a character in a show. It has a title that is way too long for me to remember off the top of my head, but it's abbreviated as Sheet Skill, and I played the main character. The lead of that show was Lee George. If you know, he's one of the directors over at Crunchyroll, another black voice actor there. And I played his younger brother, who very Cinderella story-y. The younger siblings are the favored among the parents, and the older sibling is the basically a bastard child who, oh, go cook, go clean, you're ugly, you're fat, you're all the blah, 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 blah. And my character would be the one demeaning him, constantly yelling, calling him names. I'm thinking like, this is not me. This is not a character that I know, but because of growing up, seeing people like just judging somebody based on how they look, I'm thinking, all right, cool. Well, how would those evil people act? Cool, I'll just do that character, and it just worked. So my experiences definitely do influence the kind of evil characters that I occasionally play.
Sweet. All right, Jalen, you go next.
Yeah. I mean, to piggyback off of that, I think the thing about it is because humanity is such a mixed bag of individuals, there's so many ideologies and stuff like that. In terms of bringing like myself into it or my humanity, it's just like, no matter who you're playing, heroes, villains, whatever, they didn't start off that way. They didn't, but they still have that humanity ingrained. And sometimes, even though it's not the same mindset you have, there's some type of humanity. There's something in there that's the reason they are the way they are, even if you can't figure it out what it is. Because when you play a villain, it's just like, oh, they could just be, as Kevin said, comically evil. They might not even have a reason. They're just evil just for the sake of being evil. But there are a lot of characters that have a lot of depth and stuff like that. It's like how Bill said, what's the scene before? And if you look at that, you'll find out what led them to that, and that's for villains, that's for heroes, for anything. So anytime I bring in my own humanity it's just like, yes, bring Jalen into it, but also what was the before they got to this point? Because if you find the before, even if you make it up, it'll make that character that more potent and bring it to life.
That's nice, man. I like it. Oh, looks like Cedric, you had a response to that.
I hope I answered this correctly. So everyone is the hero of their own story, including villains. Like actually, heroes are the villains of their story because they have a goal and the hero is trying to oppose their goal. So how we bring our humanity to it, we are the main characters of our life. We have supporting characters, recurring characters, NPCs. We have, and all those people affect us in a certain way. And we bring all these experiences to these characters. Sometimes we don't even know how we, like, when we try to find like similarities to a character that we're not similar to, we sort of connect what we know. And when we what am I trying to say here? Am I answering this correctly, Phil? Because I feel like I'm kind of going off topic a little bit.
No. You're answering it.
Okay. Because I feel like I try not to repeat what I said earlier.
Just take your time, man. You're good.
So pretty much taking those life experiences, some are in our soul, it's in our bones, and it will come out because it's who we are. And that villain, quote unquote villain, they want something. We all want something. We all want to accomplish something. It just depends on what perspective of the story that you're coming from.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, that was a very good answer, Cedric. I liked it. You're good. Yeah, every show you guys do or seen, heroes, villains, they all have a purpose. They trying to prove a point in these shows. I will tell you a little something. I did interview the voice of All for One 2 nights ago, John Swahey. Very amazing guy. You know, we were talking about how, you know, All for One, he's analytical and he always gets what he wants. You know, he doesn't care, you know, at what it takes. You know, he has to break a few eggs to get to from point A to point B. Doesn't care how to get scrambled as long as he gets it done. Who else is
Can I just say also, I mean, obviously hurting people and like, you know, there is a good and evil, and like these people are hurting people, and it's not justifying what they do, but essentially like what happened in their life got them to want to impact other people in a negative way. Doesn't make it right. But then when you go to the core of the character, they're hurting and they just want to find that happiness and that fulfillment in their life. Because we all want to accomplish something in our life. I just want to add that.
Okay. That's nice. Who else is Dan? Did you have anything to say?
Not much. I mean, I feel like everyone's pretty much
covered
with that. I mean, all the thing I would add on to that is I love the idea of knowing who you're talking to. I feel like we've heard that a lot in like DO classes and stuff, and like the idea of, okay, who are you addressing, and you know, what are you trying to get out of this scene with them? Like, if I'm talking to my brother, who's like a character in the show, like I would actually think about talking to my actual brother and like having thinking about conversations we've had and just how deep some of them are. I love the idea of bringing that into performances, and it gives it more life to me, knowing that like this character isn't my actual brother, but I'm thinking about my brother right now. He's hurting or he's distressed, and I'm giving him whatever pep talk it is that I'm giving him, and it really gets me in the mood to think about that. So that's all I would add on to that.
Okay. All right. Sweet, man. I'm sorry, I'm speechless. I'm just trying to gather my thoughts.
It's good, brother.
Good. Let's get to this and then we'll be at the finale, okay, guys? What does it mean to you to exist in spaces and voice characters that historically may not have always included or centered voices like yours?
Feels awesome. Like, like watching the show, there ain't no brothers in this scene. I'm just like, damn. Like, I don't know. I'm glad that Justice League had Jon Stewart in it, because I don't know who said this, but like, so the creator was like, oh yeah, I didn't want like 7 white people like in a group or whatever. Like that would be kind of boring. And I was like, yeah, that would be kind of boring just to have like 7 superheroes, they all like white people. Like, yeah, that's, I mean, that's cool, but like get some variety in there. So I like hot girls in there. I like that Jon Stewart's in there. So I like seeing shows, even if it's like a token black guy, I'm like, oh, we got a brother in the group. That's cool, man. So I like being in shows that even if I'm like a token in it, it's cool to just see that, like being involved. Yeah, I like Power Rangers too, because they're always like multiracial like groups, and it's like I'd never see that in real life. There ain't no way like a white, Asian, black guy, some other ethnic group is like all together like that. I'm just you never see that in real life, bro.
No. I was gonna say, if you've seen the 2013, the 19 TV show called Avengers Assemble, they added Sam Wilson because it was mostly the all-star group with Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk. Right. Well, Hulk had never mind. Thor, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and they decided to put Sam Wilson, Falcon in there. It's like basically the same thing with it. It's the same thing with Justice League and the Avengers. And the Avengers, I was like, yes, they need to do that because they don't want to see the same people over and over again. Like it's exhausting. And then you had like those crossovers with Static Shock. By the way, I finished Static Shock last week. So it's really good. I started when Black History Month started. So
Go ahead.
That is an old classic. But yeah, he does team up with the Justice League as well in some of those crossovers.
That
but
show
I do
hit
like
on so many different topics: racism, gun violence. For that time, oh my gosh, such a beautiful show.
And I like, and thing is, I did some. Oh shoot, I'm about to nerd out here. Y'all got me nerding out. I done some research and did some comparisons. You know, while the Justice League is dealing with cosmic threats like end of the world threats every day, Static Shock is dealing with threats that matter on a short scale, but also dealing with being as a Black superhero in his community. So that's the difference between these two shows that air together. Justice League's handling those kind of threats, and Static just dealing with he's staying to the ground, helping the little people, and still dealing with racism in that show as well.
Right,
man. I wish they would do a crossover with Miles and Static, because I mean they're both friendly neighborhood superheroes, and like they can relate. They come from different like backgrounds to an extent, but I believe they can find some common ground, and that'll be. I'd love to see that crossover if they ever do something like that.
One of these days.
I'm still hoping that they do that kind of stuff, man.
I mean, they did fight in Death Battle, but
yeah,
we don't
want
them fighting. We want them teaming up.
Yes, we do want them to team up. And I'm sorry if I interjected. Anyone else wanted to answer the question? I just had to geek out for a second.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I mean to basically piggyback off of Daniel's point. Yeah, it's cool to see that. Period. It's cool to see. There's nothing else like it. I mean, shoot, one thing that I got to do that I'm proud of was I got to be Black Steve Trevor for DC. That was interesting to step into, because again, Steve Trevor's always been white. He's always been a white man. So to have Steve Trevor be Black, and he used to date Wonder Woman and all that stuff. It's like, oh, okay, cool. We got a little melanin in him for this go around. But I mean, it's cool to see, and it's not just for us. It's just in general. It's just cool to have that out there in the universe, to let people know these types of stories can be told with a diverse group of individuals, because that's what the Avengers are. That's what the Justice League is. It's not, they don't all come from the same place. They all have different ideologies, all different, backgrounds and stories and all that. So to bring them all together, it makes for a better, interesting story, and it makes for people, like we said at the beginning of the podcast, for people who look like us to sit there and go like, hey, I character look like me, and it's in a space that typically don't feature us all that much. So it's good to see us in that arena.
Kevin, you have something to add?
Yeah, just again, piggybacking on the piggyback here. Yeah, it's always really cool to go ahead and see those kind of things. It's the whole kind of, oh my god, he looks like me, it's crazy. Whenever one of those shows pop up, I was a big, Power Rangers fan, I was a big Justice League fan, Digimon fan, all of that. So it's really crazy. Like I even took a trip to Japan 2 years ago, and I was walking through Shibuya, and I walked past the cop, and I stopped. I was walking past him, like, wait a second, that cop's Black. And the cop looks at me, he's like, wait a second, what? And we just kept walking. I'm like, wait, what, huh? Like in Japan, we both made eye contact. I was like, oh shoot, a brother. And we just kept going about our business. But this other stuff and other stories, like the first time I believe I played like a Black character in like an anime was a show called Megalobox 2 Nomad. And I played a character who was kind of struggling with his identity. He was a Black immigrant moving into the area, and he was trying to get the approval of, the more racist kids in the area, and basically like bullying the elderly, bullying other immigrants in here just to get the approval of that. And I'm like, wow, we're telling unique stories and showing this kid that he can grow up and, better protect his community and understand where he came from. He doesn't need to basically sell himself for the approval of people who don't like him anyway. and that was a really fun story to play. Or just seeing him in other shows. Like I remember when I was watching like Blue Lock for the first time in Japanese, and I saw the character that I played, Loki, appear on the screen, and I'm like, oh my god, wait, they've got a black character in the soccer anime? That's crazy. And like I remember a bunch of my friends I was hanging out with a bunch of the other actors in the show, just like playing Digimon TCG one day, and they're like, yo, did you see the new episode? Yeah, that new character, oh, he could totally be you. And I'm like, man, I don't know, dude. Like I'm sure he's gonna have an accent. He's French. There's gonna be all sorts of hoops going on with that. And then like literally a few days later, I was hanging out with other friends, and I got an audition for it. And I'm like, oh shoot, how am I supposed to make this work? I've never done a French accent before. And then so I like Googled the character, did research, and I'm like, okay, this guy is basically a one-to-one reference to Kylian Mbappe. So I looked him up, looked a bunch of interviews up, and I'm like, oh shoot, wait, Kylian's French, sure, but like he's raised from North African parents. So I started looking into that and figuring out like how he talked and what the accent was. And I coincidentally, a few months earlier, I voiced in a game called Jagged Alliance, which takes place primarily in like French colonized Africa. So I actually learned how to do a French African accent in just a few months before that. So I just ended up using that accent and sent that audition in. The director messaged me afterward and asked me like, hey, like, how come you didn't use a regular French accent? What's going on? And I'm like, well, the character he's based off of is this and this stuff. And I gave my reasonings. He's like, oh, I believe that. I like that. And he ended up casting me for the role. So there's there's a lot that goes in these characters. It's very rare that I get to play, a character who has a little bit of melanin in them, because again, there's a sound that people want for that stuff. But when I do, I have such a blast when I get a chance to play one that fits me.
Yeah. I think Cedric had something to say.
I'm loving all this diversity. It just reflects what the world is. We exist and we should be represented. And I particularly love all the representation I'm seeing in fantasy and sci-fi. Like, it's not far-fetched to have a black man in space when there's like a blue alien with 3 eyeballs. I love seeing like black elves, black dwarves, black orcs, like, just like I love it because those were usually like European centric locations, and like it's cool to have us included in that. Like Darius was saying, like there's magic cards that have black people on it. I love seeing that. And then in the superhero world, like, I mean, we've always had black superheroes, but like, but that movie Black Panther, when that first came out, it showed, like, it broke barriers. It showed that we can be smart, we can be innovative. I mean, we've always been those things, but to have like a whole country that hasn't been colonized, and like we have this precious metal, and we have the best inventions, and like that was just really beautiful to see us like regal and powerful like that. It made it was very inspiring. And I and now we have like more black people getting into the horror realm. We have Jordan Peele doing his thing. We got Ryan Coogler with Sinners, that's like making history right now. Like, I love horror, and like now I love seeing my people actually like surviving the whole movie and not being the first one to unalive. So yeah, it's really cool to like us to be a part of these different fandoms, and I can't wait to see what we do next.
Yeah, first, yes, definitely. And listen, I love Sinners. I watched the movie like 6 times now. Really amazing. But yeah, all these black leads are getting into all these shows. You got people who are trying, and then you also got the 2023 live action of The Little Mermaid, which was really amazing too. I actually enjoyed that movie as well. So the more they keep letting us do all these black lead movies and giving these opportunities, I think that's going to be really amazing for us. All right, so we're at the finale now, so let's wrap this up. I know we talked, but before we get to finale, has everyone enjoyed our conversation so far?
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Just making
doing
sure.
awesome, Phil. Doing awesome, Phil.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
I always ask. I listen
Very enlightening.
throughout these episodes. I've always asked that question.
Yeah.
Because if it's something I need to do better next time, I need to brush up on my skills.
Nah, you're good, man. I mean, you're handling a lot of people at once.
Yeah.
And you're doing a good job, you know. And you know, some of our stories are long, but it hasn't been too long. Like it's, you know, we're at the 2 hour mark, and like, but it hasn't felt that way because, like, I think it was who said it earlier? Was it Bill that like when Black people come together, it's like we're home, or was it Jalen that said that? You feel like you're home and like you can be yourself, you know?
Yeah. And to be honest, sometimes I always catch my second wind so I can keep going. So let's go to section 4: legacy, responsibility, and what comes after. Now, when you reflect on your career years from now, what do you hope your voice stood for beyond entertainment?
I'll just simply say I just want to be an inspiration. Like, I want people to see that whatever dream they have no limitations. They can do it. Even if you're not qualified, you can learn. You can become. And I think that's why I love anime so much, because it's usually the weakest character is like becomes the most powerful, or they find something unique. Naruto can even do a Rasengan. He had to like think of something else. He had to like get a clone to like make another Rasengan. Like, you know, Asta, I think he has no magic, like he blocks magic. Like I want to voice a character like that. And Luffy, like literally, like we thought he had rubber power, so I won't spoil anything who hasn't gotten that far in One Piece. Like the most goofiest power ever, and he gets stronger just by having more fun. Like I want to inspire somebody like that. I want to make people smile. I want to entertain them, and I just want to make my mark on this world. And like, you know, when I'm going, I want people to be like, that person, Cedric entertained me. He made me laugh. He made me cry. And I learned something about myself. I became a better person. I became who I meant to be because I saw that person live their dream.
Oh, Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, so took the words out of my mouth. I want to be an inspiration. I want to prove that this can be done for people like us. I want to prove that there is no specific set sound for people like us. And I just love being a creative. I love stories. That's why I went into music. That's why I, decided to switch over into acting, because I wanted to touch fun stories in every way. And this gives me the best way to influence as many stories as possible, or at least put my my name on it. I wanted to leave basically a legacy saying, hey, Kevin did exist. He did stuff that people enjoyed for years and years to come. And even when I'm not acting, when I'm sitting in the booth directing, I'm working with the actor, with the audio engineer. We're trying to craft something that's memorable, that the actor loves, that the audience loves, that everyone is gonna love here. We've strived for excellence.
Jalen, Daniel, anyone you want to go first?
I'll go. I'd say that yeah, kind of pick off what Kevin said. I also want to be an inspiration. I also don't want to be put in a shoebox where I'm kind of just known for one archetype of voice. I want to be able to play in all sorts of mediums. I want to do promos. I want to do animation. I want to do character work. I want to relay all that stuff. And I want the whole gamut. I often tell people, like, when they tell me, like, what do you want out of like VOs? Like, I want to win at VO. And I know that's general, but like when I say I want to win, I mean, I want to be able to take stuff that I've learned from my experiences and bring it into other avenues, and just be able to like bounce off and excel at that. So whether I want to dabble in promo or commercial or animation and stuff, I want to be able to win in that regard, because I wanted it that much. And I want people to recognize that I was able to dabble in all aspects of VO and was able to thrive in it, and it's possible. So yeah, I want to have fun doing this. I want the whole enchilada when it comes to this profession. So I just want people to recognize that you can do anything and you can find your place in this profession. So Yeah, that's it.
All right, Jalen, you're the last person standing.
Yeah. I mean, my legacy and what I want to leave on this earth is, I want people to feel something. That's the biggest thing for me, because it's like we we flip our faces and our masks all the time, every day, and the biggest thing about being a storyteller is moving. We are in a medium where we do it with our voice. So if I can make someone laugh, smile, the whole shebang, great. I'm doing my job, but I'm also impacting someone to possibly be the next VO or creative. I want to inspire to, whereas, like my brothers have articulated, let them know that this is an option. This is something you can do. It's not linear. It's not, there's no age cap at it. You can jump into it. But I want you to understand that when you jump into it, you're going to tell stories that are going to impact people's lives, whether you know it or not. There's so many TV screens, there's so many devices around the world that people are watching. We have done Crunchyroll stuff, and the thing about it is that people from across the world are watching it. Period. So they hear our voices and don't even realize it, but they make an impact. And I think as storytellers, that's the biggest thing for us. We like to make an impact. We like to inspire because we create so much, but we also want people to understand that with creation comes inspiration. And through that inspiration comes, you never know who you might meet. That person who you change your life might be the next director you work with years later, or the next animator, or the next writer for the biggest animators coming up, or whatever, what have you. So, I mean, at the end of it, I want to say, at the end of my days, I want to say, hey, I did this thing. I had fun. I met great friends. I had a great life. But most of all, I made sure that, I inspired folk that wanted to do this. And the ones who were alienated, outcasts, whatever, what have you, came into it and said, hey, I watched it. I wanted to get into this because of Daniel or Cedric or Kevin or Darius or Bill. And being a part of that is just giving back to everybody. And that's what I want to do. Give back to the world.
Oh, 150%, man. 150%. I agree. All right. Let's see. What does it mean to you to be part of continuing story of Black excellence in creative spaces?
That's a good question, honestly.
You've been asking some really good questions. You got us pondering shit now.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't come unprepared now.
And we appreciate it. Repeat the question one more time.
Sure thing. Hey, I'll go slow. What does it mean to you to be part of the continuing story of Black excellence in creative spaces?
Well, try to jump in here. I think it's more just normalizing that we can exist in creative spaces and not have to, apply to the certain mold that people would assume, because other kinds of people can appear in creative spaces and not bat an eye. As long as, you're white passing, it's fine. But like, we should be able to normalize that Black people exist, and we're not trying to push any agenda or anything by it, just wanting to be represented or wanting to exist in the space. We're doing the same things as everybody else, and I want that to just be fully normalized. That's why I'm in this space, doing what I can. I'm bringing the best quality work that I can to everything I do. And again, like Jalen was saying earlier, we're working on these shows, and a lot of people don't even notice that they're consuming our work that we put in. Like, I've done, again, acting, directing, like quality behind the scenes work from production on a lot of things that people don't even know I worked on. But they're consuming the work that I put out, and whether or not they know it or not, that's how we normalize it.
I would I used to just starting VO, I would just get black sides. That was it. That was all I would get. And I would be dismayed because I felt like the people who were giving me these auditions didn't think I could do anything other than just play black characters. And I would sometimes not even do the sides just because I felt like they were disrespecting me just with black sides. But now I have a better appreciation of getting the opportunity to play black characters in media, in shows. I never want to like disrespect or like sully a character just because I felt like I've been slighted. So whenever I get a black character, I'm excited. Like, oh, like this is really cool. Like, I don't know, like if I'm ever going to get something as cool as this character someday. So I should audition for it. So being able to play those characters in these shows, I'm just excited. And I always want to just do a good job. At the end of the day, my goal is just to do a good job and perform, be myself. And as a byproduct, if that inspires, if that continues to portray Black excellence, then that's awesome. And I want to do that. And I'm just elated that I get this opportunity. So just to round this off, I'm excited that we all are doing something pretty well if we're still here and continuing to be in these spaces. So I'm glad that we have avenues going forward that we're able to capitalize on. So yeah.
To continue that sentiment, it's like, yeah, just like Kevin and Daniel said, it's normalizing that we do this. And it's, you know, being a part of something like this legacy is pretty cool, because it's like, you know, we didn't wake up one day and just go like, oh, we're gonna tell stories for a living. No, we were already doing that as kids and everything like that. But to be adults and being part of something like this in many different mediums, it's astounding. And I think with all of that, you know, what it means to me is I get to be a part of a legacy of people, like-minded people that like to tell stories, but also who look like me, we, you know, who I share kinship with, and we can, you know, set the bar for future generations to come. Because even when we're gone, you know, they're going to consume this stuff. And like Daniel said, we want to do a good job. Because if we do a good job, the person after us will come in and go like, I want to do that. And if we have that, we can normalize it even more because people will be inspired.
It is an absolute honor. I'm going to keep saying that, to be in the same sentence as Phil, Cree, Deborah, Kevin, etc. And particularly what we do, voice acting, like we're part of a lot of different fandoms and nerddoms and stuff that we grew up watching. For us to be a part of it and contributing, Black people have been excellent since the dawn of time. We shape culture, even if we don't try to, but it's due to our adversity that we had to rise up and that burning passion in us to be accepted. It creates this powerful thing that we put into everything that we do. And so every day we do a project, we're contributing to Black history, and just us living our truth, it will affect somebody positively. And that's all I'll say.
Nice. And to wrap this panel up, as we close out Black History Month, what does it mean to you to know what your voice is now part of Black history and part of someone else's inspiration?
It means the world. It means the world to me, honestly, because I love, hopefully when I have more like convention sightings in the future, getting to just talk to people who are just like my work and like what I do, and are inspired to pursue voice acting or other creative outlets. I am excited that I get to have this opportunity. Being a Black voice actor means a lot to me because I'm literally an example for other people who want to do this profession, and they're seeing me in the flesh doing it. So I'm happy that I get to be a representation in that regard. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, to again piggyback off of that, yeah, I've talked to people at conventions or signing events and hearing like how happy they are to know, seeing somebody like walk past the banner, like a family with kids, and be like, wait a second, there are Black characters on that banner, hold on, what shows this, what, tell me about it, blah blah blah. And it's like it feels really nice to see. It's like, again, to inspire other people. Like, I was inspired to get into this. Like, the whole reason I even like really chose voice acting was because in the spaces I wanted to enter, I noticed that there just wasn't enough Black people around. There wasn't enough. And I'm like, I want to help break that mold. I want to help push that farther. And that's why, I went into this. That's why I decided to learn, dubbing. It's why I got into this space entirely, and seeing it slowly evolve and change over time is really nice.
Getting the feedback from the fan base has been great. Going to cons recently, even your smallest character, I think Jalen said, you never know what character is going to inspire somebody, big or small. And like when you go into it, you're like, if you're not the main character, you're like, yo, okay, that was a cool project I did, but it affected somebody in some way, and that's what it's all about. And I love, since there's not that many of us in this space, when we do appear at a convention and we're like a unicorn amongst others, and we see like Black cosplayers or Black anime fans come up to us, there's like this joy that they feel. Like it's like it's very, it's unspoken. Like they're drawn to you, even if they haven't seen your show. They're like, oh wait, you do this? Oh, okay, I haven't seen that show. Definitely gonna watch that show now. It's that connection that we have, and I'm glad that we're in this space that is every day is there's more Black voice actors coming into the space, and we can just continue to inspire people to pursue this. And I'm loving that there's now Black conventions like BlurredCon and DreamCon that celebrate us. We're having Black anime. I believe Black anime is the future. There's Black creators making manga and like in anime and telling our stories from a lens, from the mainstream anime lens, and I can't wait to see how many more people we inspire.
Piggyback off of that, it's just great to be a part of creative stories. It's great to be a part of the creative process, and just as a Black voice actor, just being able to tell stories on a daily basis, from commercials to promos to whatever. It's just great to be in the space and also just help, be a part of that history, because as we've said before we got into this, there weren't that many of us. And now that we're a part of it, we can be a part of the people we wanted to see, on the screens or in our cartoons or in our video games. And by being to do that, I'm grateful because I get to meet, new actors that I never knew about, but I've heard their voice, So I'm grateful to just be a part of that and to be on this panel with these amazing guys, because again, we all change lives in different ways. So I just hope we get to continue to do that.
Right. That's amazing. I hope we get to do the same thing too. I'm actually trying to go to a BlurredCon this year if I can. I'm trying my best to get there, but it's nice that we have all these conventions representing us, and we have so many more people who are creating all these art pieces. Like every time I go on Instagram, I look for like a lot of Black artists to go and check them out. So it's really amazing. Well, I think we've covered about everything. I'm glad y'all had a good time here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of thought-provoking questions.
Yes.
You know,
Me.
we had to search deep. We had to search within our core to get some of these answers out.
Hey, I try my best every day to come up with something.
Yeah, like, you know, they weren't even like one-liner answers like I like to act, or we had to like go back to our childhood. We had to like bring up some trauma. We had to think about what we want to leave behind, bro. Past, present, and future, bro. Dang. Like good job with these questions. Like
Yes.
it's a huge responsibility, and we're on a platform. So everything, people are watching us right now, and we need to, you know, stuff like this is really good for the culture.
I agree.
Exactly.